So in this segment, we're going to talk about contracts and agreements. So in my market in Massachusetts, if you are going to work with a buyer's agent, you do need to sign a buyer's agency agreement. And it is a contract that you will work only with this agent, and this agent will work only in your best interest during the entire process. But there are a few options. So say you just met the agent and you're not really sure you want to go into a lengthy contract. You can actually sign a one-day contract or a contract for these 3 properties that you're going to see in one day, because a buyer's agent actually has to have you sign a contract before they even show you properties. And what happens if after that one day or those 3 showings you decide this person isn't for me? You don't have to continue with that contract. There is one caveat though. If you end up buying one of the properties that you saw with that agent in 3 months or so, the agent is still entitled to the compensation for being the person that brought you to those properties. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you like the agent, you can always sign a longer contract, and you can determine how long that contract is. Say during that process, you decide this agent is not giving me the level of service that I'm looking for or that they said they were going to give me, you can end the contract. And I guarantee you that if you decide, I don't want to work with this person anymore, they're not going to be begging to work with you. So you should be protected. Now, your buyer's agent agreement will cover a few important points. One is the length of time. Is it 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever you decide on. 2, fiduciary duties. Your buyer's agent is representing you and only your best interests throughout this entire process. They won't reveal to the seller anything you tell them, etc. And 3 is the compensation for the buyer's agent. That is written into the contract because of the new laws in Massachusetts. Now, when your buyer's agent writes your offer, they will almost always write in the offer that that compensation will be covered by the seller as an incentive for that buyer's agent to bring you to their property. Now, the new laws say that they do not have to pay that. So in some instances, you might find that you write an offer, and in the offer you say 2.5 or 3% from my buyer's agent, and the seller is only offering 2%. So what that means is your buyer's agent will go over with you, here is the price, here is the 0.5% that you will be responsible for at the closing. And again, your buyer's agent will do everything they can to get the seller to cover that, but it's not required that they cover that fee because of the new laws that passed in 2024. And do you need the agreement? Yeah, in Massachusetts, again, in order to see a property with a buyer's agent, you do have to sign that agreement. You can do it on your own if you'd like. I have a separate video on whether or not you should hire or whether or not you need a buyer's agent. But long story short, if you end up seeing a property and there are like 15 people viewing that property and you decide, I want to offer on it, you need someone that's going to be able to work out the nuances of that offer and the details, not only the price, but all of the different conditions to help increase the likelihood that you're going to beat out those other 15 people who may also offer on the property. The other important thing is a buyer's agent is the only person that's going to have access to off-market properties, and that will give you an advantage in putting in an offer because less people are seeing those off-market properties, so you're less likely to get into bidding wars. This topic can be a little bit confusing, and it's new to a lot of people. So if you have any questions, my contact information is below. Feel free to call, text, email, anything you need. I'm happy to help you out.